Welcome to the Queen of Awakening podcast, where you can learn how to leverage your energy for thriving relationships, better vitality, and more prosperity. Hosted by Jessie Cole. What's up, party people? Today I'm going to do the last installment of the Energy Work series. And today I'm going to talk to you about craniosacral therapy, what it is, some of the experiences I've had, and why you might want to do it. For starters, craniosacral therapy is a gentle, hands-on therapy that you can do if you're suffering from migraines, from neck pain, from side effects from cancer treatments. Also called CST, the practitioner will use a light touch method to examine the movement of fluids that come from your central nervous system. From what I understand it, there is a contraction and an expansion because your body is always moving. It can help your body release the connective tissues or the fascia that is in between the muscles. And practitioners know that the body is interrelated at all levels. CST can help with chronic pain, fibromyalgia, migraine headaches, MS, neuralgia. If you have any pains, strokes, if you've had strokes, it can help with that. Epilepsy, post-concussion syndrome. This therapy, you do it when you're fully clothed. And there are different levels of practitioners. They'll do it differently. I have had 2 sessions. The very first session that I went to, the practitioner had just begun to get trained for it. Actually, she was fully trained, but she was doing it by the book and going through. She put on gloves and stuck her fingers in my mouth to feel in there. And I felt pretty relaxed after the session. Now I have found one that lives closer to me and we've become fast friends. She's a really wonderful, intuitive person. That has been different. I went to see her because I was having some troubles with my cycle. I had to have an ovary removed. I have later learned that your reproductive organs actually hold on to the emotions of pride, shame, jealousy, unworthiness, worthlessness. They can also be stored in your glands. So I've got to back up and tell you a story about myself. My husband, we've been married for over 10 years, but we've had a breakup-makeup relationship for 17 years. And he had a son with another woman, and he was paying out the nose for child support, which anybody that is with somebody paying child support has experienced this. I totally feel like you should have to pay for your kid if you have a child with somebody else, but his was set really high. And it was hard. We really struggled. I felt like I had to pay for everything because so much money was going to his ex. And so I kind of resented my stepson for this. I'm over this now. You know, we have more income coming in, which is great. But I resented him because of this. And then I felt guilty. I felt very shameful. So fast forward about 15 years, all of that guilt for feeling that way, my deep-seated feelings of unworthiness, all of that built up within my body. And I had to have my left ovary removed because these emotions are stored in your body. They can be stored in your organs. They can also be stored in different parts of your body. But the first session that I had with her, the first couple of sessions that I had with her, it's good to find an intuitive practitioner because my body was talking to her and she picked up on what my body had to say, and my body told her that I was harboring guilt in my ovary. My body was confused because it didn't understand what had happened to my ovary after I had surgery. So apparently the right one that I had left was resentful that it had to work so hard because it didn't understand that I didn't want to have more kids. And so we got that all sorted out. And it was a very eye-opening experience for me. It caused this huge paradigm shift for me because at that point I didn't realize that my organs could hold emotions and that my organs could also express emotions. I also have some trouble with my left shoulder. I carry a lot of tension here, and a lot of times when I work out, my left shoulder will become really inflamed, and I didn't really understand why that was happening. And it turns out that I was harboring some anger from my dad, who was a narcissist and really controlling, and he loved me and I loved him, and I've worked through all of that, but I had anger stored here, and there was so much anger there that my body didn't even want to talk about it at first. It threw her some attitude, which is hilarious because all of the comments that my body would make were a direct reflection of my personality. Shocker! So I also found out I had gotten into past life regressions and past life therapy. She spontaneously went into a past life with me, which was really cool because I didn't see it. I wasn't getting the visuals that she did, but she informed me that I was in the Civil War, and she said that I got shot in the back. My mentor that has been helping me with the emotion code confirmed that, but she said that it was shrapnel that got stuck in my shoulder. So the energy from when I was in the Civil War carried through into this lifetime, which is not uncommon if you're struggling with any kind of body issues. There's a really good chance that it's something that was unresolved in the way that you died or something traumatic that happened to you in past lives. Other experiences that I've had with craniosacral therapy, it's been such a wild ride. My body told her that I was unhappy in my marriage, which, if you're married, you've got ups and downs, and things can be good and they can be really bad. And since then, I've worked through that with my husband, but I was just feeling really lonely, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to stay with him because he doesn't believe in God, and I really, really believe in God. So I wasn't really sure if he was a good fit for me anymore. And I had been harboring this secretly in my heart that I didn't feel comfortable telling anybody, but she knew. My body told her. I'm also a Reiki practitioner, and so she went through and did a check of my chakras, and she said that my sacral chakra and my throat chakra weren't getting along, which really cracked me up because I never thought of my chakras not getting along. The reason behind that was my sacral chakra was telling me that's your gut feelings, your gut intuition between your solar plexus and your sacral chakras. That is where your gut feelings come from, your intuition, your self-esteem, your self-confidence, anything that has to do with your sexuality. But what was happening was I wasn't listening to my gut. So my gut was telling me one thing, I wasn't speaking my truth. So there was an imbalance in my chakras. And since then, I have switched gears and changed because I started off with my YouTube channel for yoga, and now I'm doing it on awakening. So I feel like I'm more living in alignment with my truth and what my life purpose is. I feel like my life purpose is to help people see the mystical side of life and to bring things that are not accepted mainstream more into the light. But in order to honor my body, after going to see her for several months on a monthly basis, I said, well, what does my body need in order to do this? Because you want your vehicle, your vessel, to be pretty balanced in order to carry you through this life in a pretty productive way. And it said carnelian. So if you're watching my YouTube channel, you can see that I have a carnelian necklace on, and she has a rock Bible, which is really awesome because it tells you the uses of crystals and rocks and the therapies that they can use. But she had never heard of that before. So she looked it up, and I started wearing this carnelian necklace, and sure enough, I started to feel more balanced. And what was happening was I would just feel some disquiet in my guts. It wasn't uncomfortable. I could tell that my body was off. And she explained to me that if you're living out of fight or flight, which I was, because I wasn't sure if I was going to stay or go with my husband, so I was stressing about money. Your body, if you're stuck in fight or flight response, or if there's any disquiet within your system, you actually need to have craniosacral therapy done about every 3 weeks. So I would go and see her, and then after 3 weeks, I would start to feel off in my body. And if you get into yoga and meditation and just tuning into your body, you'll start to notice really subtle shifts. So I started wearing a carnelian necklace, which is something that my body asked for. And I haven't had to see her as often to get my body balanced. And I actually went out of town with my husband a couple of months ago, and I took off my necklace for the first time after wearing it every day for probably 3 months, and I actually felt a shift in my energy taking this crystal off. So if you think that crystals are bullshit, you might want to look a little bit more further into it, because they can be very powerful, and different crystals correspond with different chakras. So you can check into which emotions are harbored in your body. I covered that in my Reiki episode, so check that one out. It's already been published. And if there's any emotions that you struggle with on a pretty regular basis, there can be crystals that can help you to get your body balanced and put back into a state of balance and just help you feel better overall. Craniosacral therapy can help you with emotional release. If there's stuff that you've been holding on to, harboring within your body, I think the first couple of sessions that I had, I cried a lot. I'm a crier. And that stuff needs to be released. Even if the practitioner isn't incredibly intuitive, it can really help your body just let go of the stuff that you're holding on to, that you're hanging on to. There are a few times where you would not want to do craniosacral therapy or CST. If you've had a recent concussion, if you have cerebral swelling, if there has been any kind of traumatic brain injury in your recent past, if you have blood clots, or anything that has caused instability in your cerebral spinal fluid, you might want to avoid this therapy. It's been a really positive experience for me, so I wanted to share some stories with you about it, and I hope you found this helpful. I wanted to put out there before I wrap things up that I am an energy worker, so feel free to reach out to me at jessiecolewellness.com. You can find me on YouTube. I have a website, and I would love to hear from you and work with you for any kind of energy work. I've also launched coaching, so if you would like to work on your mindset, then please feel free to reach out to me. I've got hundreds of hours into mindset and shifting mindsets, and I have a really good strategy to help you change your mindset, change your life, start working on your life purpose, I hope you have a beautiful day, and I will catch you on the next one.